And now, CCW News presents Holy Crap, This Is Actually Happening! When Will It Stop edition, August 21st, 2022. I'm Chuck U. Farley. This evening, we here at CCW News, being true journalists with all the integrity that entails, pay homage to a fallen comrade. We all know and love the now former host of CNN's opinion show, Reliable Sources, on which he almost exclusively reported Fox News' reporting of Donald Trump while never consulting an actual reliable source. We join many well-wishers who have ceremoniously tossed a potato in his honor. Here's to your career, little Brian Stelter. May it rest in peace. In a bold move to breed more soldiers for his continuous border war, Vladimir Putin has issued the Mother Heroine Award, including a Medal of Honor and 1,000 rubles for women who have 10 children that make it past age 1. I swear, I am not making this up. Mothers who birth and raise 10 Russian citizens with the, quote, appropriate level of care for health, education, physical, spiritual, and moral development, end quote, are now eligible for the windfall. Unlike the U.S. government, the Russian government would prefer their citizens screw each other. After getting a cold and then testing positive for the Ooga Booga bug, Dr. Jill Biden was forced to quarantine for 5 days in South Carolina. The double-vaccinated and twice-boosted First Lady may or may not have caught it from the child sniffer-in-chief while they were vacationing on Kiowa Island as a vacation from their vacation in Delaware, which is where they typically vacation from occupying the White House. Resident Joe just finished his third go-round with Rona himself, with a third positive test being attributed to the antiviral medicine he was giving to treat it in what his doctor called a rebound case, proving that, much like Jill's husband, the cure is sometimes far worse than a disease. Speaking of the most deadly disease ever to darken the doorstep of mankind, since King Brandon is expecting to get another 87,000 vaccine jabs himself, one for each armed IRS agent he's about to unleash on the already struggling poor and middle class, the federal government has decided that it's now time to pass the cost of vaccinations, testing, and treatment back to the already struggling poor and middle class. The move is good news to the 3 major pharmaceutical companies that produced the jabs, which, because they were having to work within government budgeting, reported a paltry $130.6 billion in profits in 2021 alone. The Department of Health and Human Services will hold a planning session on August 30th to orchestrate the shift from propaganda to pure marketing. Last week, the Centers for Disease Control Director, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, ordered what she called a reset of the agency due to its absolute dismal failure in handling the coof pandemic. This week, former White House Coronavirus Response Coordinator Dr. Deborah Birx praised the CDC for boldly admitting its absolute dismal failure in handling the coof pandemic. Birx went on to say that there was too much to tweak away and that the reset should be considered, quote, an inflection point, end quote. When asked what voice modulation has to do with shutting down entire economies and invoking draconian mandates over a flu bug, Birx replied that her vocabulary, much like the COVID response, relied on flawed information and used convenience data, rather than actual studies, science, or logic. The CDC plans to work with the private sector after the reset, as they finally realized that the only thing any government has succeeded in doing was making everything it touches worse. For CCW News, this has been Holy Crap, This Is Actually Happening. I'm Chuck U. Farley. Good night, and may God help us.